Shalom Aleichem Rabotai. Today we're finishing up the 16th chapter in Shabbat, and we are on Mishnah Ches. Oved Kochavim Shehadlik et Haner. A non-Jew lit a candle or a lamp on the Sabbath. Now, we actually mentioned yesterday in Mishnah Vav that we don't tell a non-Jew to do a Melacha or not do a Melacha. That's a concept called Amira Lenachri, telling a non-Jew to do a Melacha on Shabbat. That is forbidden. The Bartner here says it's forbidden mishum shvut. It's rabbinically forbidden to tell them to do a Melacha. The Rambam gives another reason that if Jews are telling non-Jews to do Melacha, the Jew is going to come to do it himself and going to come to treat Shabbos very lightly. So here in Mishnah 8, he lit a ner. So what do you do if you're sitting in the same room? Mishtamash l'or Yisrael. The Jew can actually use the light because this non-Jew, he lit it for his own purposes. Ve'im bishvil Yisrael, but if the non-Jew lit it for the Jew to use, asar, the Jew can't use the light. And the Mishnah brings a second case, Mila Mayim Lahashka Behemto. A non-Jew drew water from the well. Now, the well is typically a Rishus Hayachid, so he's doing Hotzah. He's taking water from one domain to another, to the public domain. Mashke Achar Yisrael. So a Jew can water his animal after this. So the non-Jews lifted up the bucket and poured it into the trough, or poured it into a big bowl for the animals. So the Jew can use the leftover water. V'im bishvil Yisrael asar. But if the non-Jew drew water or added more water for the Jew, it's forbidden. So the Mepharshim say if the non-Jew is friends with the Jew, is waiting after him in line for the public well, the public water hole, he will come to add water, just as a typical thing. That's what friends do. You add a little more water when you're drawing water, so your friend doesn't have to schlep. It's derech eretz. So he would do that. So it'd be a problem because now he's adding on water on Shabbos for the benefit of the Jew. So it'd be forbidden to use it. Also, Ovid Kochavim Kevesh, the third case, non-Jews made a ramp, lay red boat, to descend using this ramp. Now, this is talking about on a boat. The boat was in dock, and he wants to get off the boat, so they make a gangplank. They attach it to the boat so they can get down to the land. Yored Achar of Israel. The Jews can use the same ramp to descend from the boat after the non-Jew. In Bishvil Yisrael, but if the non-Jews Davka made this so the Jews could get off the boat, Asur, then you can't benefit from the Melacha they did Davka for Jews. Maise, there was an actual event, but Rabban Gamliel was a Kani, Rabban Gamliel and the elders, Shayu Boyin Basfina, they came back to Eretz Yisrael in a boat. Apparently, they had been on business in Rome, beseeching the government not to oppress the Jews. And one of the sailors, who was not Jewish, made the ramp, the gangplank, to get off the boat. V'yarduvo, Rabban Gamliel is Kenim, and Rabban Gamliel and all the elders, they used the ramp to come down, since the non-Jew had done it for his own use, not davka for them. Now, the Gemara talks about how they were already close to port within the Techum, when Shabbos began, before Shabbos began. So they didn't have an issue of Techum where they'd be stuck on the boat. They were actually already able to enter the Techum of the city and get to dry land. The issue was just having the gangplank. Shkoyach. Now we're moving on to chapter 17, Kol HaKelim. This is a very, very famous parak about muktzeh. Muktzeh is items that are set aside. Literally, muktzeh means set aside. Items that we do not handle on Shabbos. There are many reasons given in the Gemara, because people would come to do Melacha with them, or because simply it's not Shabbos-stic, so we want to avoid doing things that are not in the spirit and the nature of Shabbos, so we don't take Sabbath observance lightly. Good. So chapter 17, Mishnah Aleph, Kol HaKelim nitolin b'Shabbat. Any utensils, vessels, can be moved on Shabbat. V'dalto tehen imahen, and their doors with them. So if you had a little cupboard, and it has a door that opens, you use it for storage, you put your schnapps in there, and you want to bring it near next to the table for Shabbos, for L'chaim, so great, that's movable, that's a kli, that's movable, and the door can come with it, afol pishnit parko, even though the door fell off. So the Bartner says, even if the door fell off before Shabbos, the door is part of the kli, so you can move that door with your little box here. So I should say, Aflo Pishin et Parku ba Shabbat, even though it fell off on Shabbat. Barnura adds, even before Shabbat, Shein Domin Ladot to buy it, because these doors to your vessels, doors to Kalim, are not like doors to the house. Pisha Ena Mina Muchan. A door to the house is not Muchan. No one's expecting the door to fall off the house and have to carry it or move it around or mess with it. So you don't have in mind that you're going to be using the door to the house versus the door to your kli, the door to your portable schnapps cupboard. You're going to use that door to get to your schnapps on Shabbos, so you have that in mind that it's part of the kli and you can use it and move it on Shabbos. Enjoy. Shkoyach, Rabosai.